I've met Vacations once. I met them, in Dublin, like, very briefly, and we were playing some festival similar to this there, and, I walked in the green room, and they had stacked all these cups up to the ceiling and made a giant tower of cups, and that was my first impression of them. I was like, "These guys are alright." So, yeah, I've briefly met them. I've seen Puma Blue before, when I lived in Nashville, and that show was incredible. That was one of those shows where everyone's just, like, dead silent in the crowd, and, it was great. And I've never seen any of these other artists live, but I got a friend that works with Ian Sweet and says she's awesome, so, yeah, I'm excited to see everybody tonight. Everything is odd after living in Mississippi just because Mississippi is, like, more of a lack of a scene than anything, there's still, like, really low key and cool stuff happening, in Mississippi and other small states like that, but there's not, like, a cohesive and structured, like, scene that's recognizable by a certain sound or a certain style or anything, it's all just kind of loose, and you got these guys that are more jam bandy, you got these guys that are more hardcore, it's all just kind of, like, people bonding over the fact that they're musicians, not necessarily dividing into, like, specific niches in Mississippi. So, yeah, it's just kind of like a overload moving somewhere that did have specific sectors and, like, these type of people go to these shows and stuff. Yeah, it's kinda crazy to try to wrap my mind around, and I was always just kinda like being from Mississippi, I was just like, "Am I not just gonna be, like, perceived as a poser with, whatever type of music I make? Because it's not like I actually belong in any specific scene or I'm, like, contributing to a certain scene. I'm just, like, uh replicating what I think those bands do and then putting it on the internet from, Mississippi, so, like, are people just gonna laugh or scoff at that and be like, "Oh, this guy thinks he's with The Strokes or something and cringe," you know? But, yeah, I don't know, that was something I was worried about, was just, like, growing up somewhere it's kind of, less going on, uh, you could likely do something that's, like, passe or overdone and not even realize it, you know? It kinda stems from I was really into the band Grandaddy and, listening to their lyrics and kinda thinking, "What is this guy talking about?" And then looking into it, realize he kinda creates characters, like, there's the Jed the humanoid, for example, and kinda projects, his songs onto these characters to make something that's, like, less personal than just singing about, like, "Oh, this happened to me, and then I got sad." It's, like, more three-dimensional to make it projected onto something fictional, and it allows you to be more honest without feeling like you're being vulnerable or whatever, you know? I just was kinda fascinated by that approach or that songwriting style, but for Rufus, I decided to just lean into that and, yeah, make it kind of like a cartoonish, listen, I guess.
So, your